Hi, my name is Dikas Shachar. I am a fitness and health professional with over 15 years of experience, and I am so ready and so hyped for today's workout. If you suffer from an underactive thyroid, you might be dealing with symptoms like achy joints, anxiety, fatigue, and muscle pain. The good news is that working out may help with all or some of those symptoms. Additionally, medium intensity workouts for patients who are already undergoing treatment for hypothyroidism can actually help increase T3 and T4. You can find out more on mythyroidrelief.com. Today's workout aims to get your heart rate to 70% of your maximum heart rate, and it's going to work your deep core, your arms, your legs, and it'll get your heart rate up and face glistening. You're going to need a chair or a coffee table or a stool, anything you can really step up on easily, maybe not so easily, maybe more challenging. It's up to you. Now, let's go over the 4 exercises. We're going to perform 8 repetitions for each exercise and then go through the circuit 3 more times, a tad faster. Okay, here we go. Exercise number 1, side hop up right. When we do round 2, we're going to do the same thing on our left leg. Exercise number 2, walk your plank. Exercise 3, elevated push-ups, and exercise number 4 is spider plank. This workout is to be performed with little to no breaks, so you'll be sure to get your sweat on and heart rate up. It's a gorgeous day, so let's take this outside and get to work. Come on. Okay, coming into exercise number 1, I'm going to place one leg on the chair. In this case, I'm placing the left leg up, and I bend both legs. Exhale, come up. Inhale, go down. So when I say bend both legs, I mean that the leg that is elevated, of course, bends deeply. But also when I land in that asymmetrical squat, I'm also bending the landing leg. It's very important to keep your butt back here. Make sure that you are digging your left heel into the chair when you come up. Let's get that chair out of the way so we can go into exercise number 2, which is walk into your plank and stand. What's important here is that you go down through the squat, walk your hands into the plank, and then again, come up through the squat. In other words, every time I go down, I first bend my knees, and also every time I come up, I first bend my knees. So I'm not rolling down with my head down first. The faster you go, the harder you will work. And since this is our first round, I am not attempting to go so fast. I want my body to get warm and prepared for the following rounds. Once I've completed 8 reps, I'm going to move on to little push-ups. It's very important to note that I don't expect you to go deep on these push-ups. I'm placing my hands under my shoulders. The most important thing is to keep your spine neutral. So notice that I'm not moving my back around. I'm keeping my shoulders back and away from my ears. I inhale down, exhale up, keeping my pelvic floor lifted and my abdominals tight, wrapped around against my back. After we performed 8 reps, we're going to get ready for the spider plank. I'm going to place my hands directly under my shoulders. You can absolutely opt into doing a low plank, which is placing your forearms on the floor. But if you can do this on your hands, it might be a little easier to get your elbow to touch your opposite knee, or rather the other way around, to get your knee to drive forward and touch the opposite elbow. Once you've done 8, we are going into round 2. And we're going to be placing the other leg up. So in my case, I'm placing my right leg on the chair. Exhale up, inhale down. Remember, we are aiming to keep the left heel on the chair. Or in my case, the right heel on the chair. And then I drop down. So I'm pressing through the heel, not coming up all the way. You can see My little grin, my little chuckle means I'm starting to work a little bit hard. I'm starting to get out of breath and I find it amusing. So we go forward into the plank and we come up. Remember, we inhale, we walk forward, we exhale, start walking back, and we are always bending our knees before the transition up or down. Focus in. Every once in a while, remind yourself that you've got your pelvic floor here that you need to lift. It'll constantly support your back throughout this very dynamic move. And once we've completed 8 reps, we're going to get that chair back over and aim for our little push-ups. Again, it's not about going low, it's about keeping form. I want your shoulders back and away from your ears. I want your navel glued to your spine, your pelvic floor lifted. You're going to start to notice here that I am picking up pace. If I'm going too fast for you, please slow down. Work at the pace that is best for you. Moving into the spider plank, rooting the hands into the floor, driving opposite knee to elbow. You do not have to touch. If you can touch your knee to elbow, fantastic. And if you cannot, that's totally fine. Getting ready for round number 3. It's going to start getting pretty serious now. You're going to see that I'm going to start really picking up my pace here. That's me telling you to pick up your pace. But again, I'm also asking you to make sure that you are working at your best pace. So I don't want you completely out of breath. Remember, we are aiming for 70% of your max heart rate on the middle intensity workouts. In exercise 2, we're walking forward and then we're walking backward, back into the standing position, back into the plank position. I want you on the move, just constantly moving, get your blood flowing here. Trying to kick up the dust a little bit, trying to get a little bit past our comfort zone so that we really start feeling the work. And then once we've done those 8 reps, we get the chair back in the game in for our little push-ups. So we inhale down, exhale up. I'm starting to really pump it up. And I'm reminding you that you do not have to keep up with me. In fact, if I'm going too slow for you and you're keeping perfect form, then by all means, go a little bit faster. It's really just all about getting you out of your own comfort zone and keeping perfect form. Everyone's body is different and everyone's body responds differently to the workouts. All right, guys, we are getting into round number 4. This is the grand finale. Getting my right leg back up, hop and drop, making sure you are really sitting back. Getting your butt back, drawing your chest forward. Exhale up, inhale down. Bending both legs on the way down. Once we've done 8, we get into walk your plank. Keeping your abdominals tight. Breathing through the movement. And this is the kind of movement where it's not crucial to me that you exhale on a very specific point or inhale on a specific point because there's so much going on here that I just want you flowing your breath. Inhale and exhale, keeping your abs tight. And then once we've performed 8 of those, we get back onto the chair for our elevated push-ups. I'm working up a sweat over here. Hands directly under the shoulders, abs tight, inhale and exhale. So here I do want you inhaling down, exhaling up. Keeping your head aligned with your neck. Don't drop your head. If you do drop your head, I want you actually to lower your range of motion. Okay, let's move the chair out of the way and get back into our spider plank. We drive the knee to elbow. And remember, you're aiming to touch your elbow, but it really is not necessary. If it's too much for you today, then in 1 day's time, in 1 week's time, in 1 month's time, you'll get there. It's practice, practice, practice. Getting into a shell stretch. So I'm going to perform several shell stretches here, really just driving my body back into the stretch, letting my arms extend forward, and then I come forward for a breath, and then again, I'm going to go back, drive it back, allow my head to be heavy on the mat, and then you can absolutely keep doing that for a few more. I'm going to bring my hands side to side into a shell stretch, focused on one side. Once you've done both sides, you can get onto your knees and go in for a side bend. If being on your knees is too much for you, then you can stand up. You can sit any way that you prefer. I definitely want us to get our side bend in today. And then from there, we're going to roll our shoulders back. Let your facial muscles relax. Let your neck relax. Open up your chest, bringing one ear to one side. And then gently release and bring the other ear to the other side. And release. We're going to go into a seated position, straightening your legs forward. If you need to sit on something like a folded up towel or a pillow, that's perfectly fine. Straight legs, reaching up and over, trying to allow yourself to fall into the stretch. Once you've held it for a few moments, you're going to go onto one side and pull your foot and knee back. Remember to squeeze the butt here on the quad stretch. So we're going to go over to the other side, foot, knee back, and then squeeze the butt on the stretch. Ooh, well done. I'm proud of you. Thank you so much for joining me today.